At Hyperparam, here's how we use our web-based tool to investigate our chat logs and improve the quality of our AI. For example, we've had some issues with our SQL tool frequently returning errors. So I'm going to ask the model to extract all of the SQL tool errors it finds in each conversation and give me a number for how many it found. This will create 2 new columns. Here's our 2 new columns. I'm going to materialize these to make them easier to work with. Now I'm going to ask it to show me just the 5 conversations with the highest number of these errors. Now I'm going to have the model do some investigation. I want to know what are the most common errors and what are the most common causes. Let's see what it finds out. So part of it is just functionality that our SQL tool doesn't yet support. So this list here is very useful because this tells us what to prioritize as we add new features to our SQL tool. Particularly notable here is that the model is sometimes making incorrect assumptions about the schema and trying to retrieve columns that don't actually exist. This should not be happening. The model should know what the current schema is. So let's ask our AI assistant to do some investigation and look at the conversations leading up to these errors to find out what is actually causing the model to attempt to retrieve columns that don't exist. So there's definitely an issue with it using aliases in a way that's not supported. And there's also an issue here of it losing track of the current schema as it makes queries. So even though it's told what the original schema is, as it makes multiple SQL queries, it's not always remembering what the original columns are in the table. So these are all issues that we're going to be addressing with a combination of working on the tool and prompting and improving the AI memory. I'm also going to ask the model what prompt changes we can use to fix this issue. So here are some additions we could make to our system prompt to help the model focus on the current schema and not lose track of it. I want to be able to run this analysis again after we've made these changes to see if it's improved. So I'm going to save this analysis task as a skill, and once we've made some improvements, we will run this analysis again and compare the results on our chat logs since the improvements and before them and see if it has improved. This would have been nearly impossible to do by just tediously reading through our chat logs, but with this tool, we are able to pinpoint some issues in just a few minutes.